Hi everybody, Mr. Polley here. Today I'm going to be reading a non-fiction book to you guys, and it's called Wetlands, written by Li Wang. So the first thing to remember about non-fiction books is that it's not a story, it's an information book. And usually non-fiction books will have contents pages where you can see the different chapters, and it will tell you what information you can find on each page. There should also be a glossary and an index. The glossary will give you information about what difficult words from the story mean. So for example, if I don't know what the word territory means, I can come and look it up over here. And then finally, we have an index at the back, and it will tell you all the different pages where something is mentioned. So if I want to look up the word plants, I can see that it's on all of these different pages. Now I'm not going to read the whole book to you today. I think we'll just read maybe chapter 1 and chapter 2 if we have time. Chapter 1. What is a wetland? Wetlands are areas of land that are wet and watery. Some wetlands are always covered with water, while others dry out for part of the year. Wetlands are like giant sponges. They soak up excess water after heavy rains and help to stop flooding. Excess means left over or extra. They also clean water by filtering out pollutants such as sewage and waste from farms, towns, and factories. They provide many animals and plants with a place to live and a supply of food. In the past, many people thought that wetlands were no more than breeding areas for mosquitoes and that they should be drained. Over time, many wetlands were drained and filled in so that people could build houses, roads, and towns. Yeah, people used to call them swamps a lot, and they used to think that it was where mosquitoes breed. That means where mosquitoes have more mosquitoes, where they make babies. Okay, so let's have a look over to the next page, shall we? The loss of wetlands has caused many problems. Many animals and plants that need them for their survival have become endangered, as they have lost the places where they find food and shelter. Some of these plants and animals might die out altogether. When wetlands are destroyed, stormwater and runoff after heavy rains have nowhere to drain into, and this can cause flooding in those areas. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So because there's no more wetlands in a lot of places, there's lots of animals that have become endangered. Now if we look at the word danger here, we can kind of guess what that means, right? It's animals that have a lot of them have died for whatever reasons, and the reason here is because their homes have gone, and they don't have anywhere to get food because their homes are gone. And then if we look further down here, when wetlands are destroyed, stormwater and runoff after heavy rains have nowhere to drain into. So usually these wetlands will take all of the extra water when it rains a lot and keep it inside, but if the wetlands have all been filled in, there's nowhere for this water to go. So then you end up with the water level rising and people's homes getting destroyed. So down here at the bottom, I can also see a caption for this photo over here. Crocodiles basking in the sun in the Pantanal wetlands in South America. Okay, so this is one of the animals that lives in wetlands. And then over here we've got two did you know boxes. Did you know wetlands provide habitats, that's homes, for about 1/5 of the world's known species? That's a lot. The world's largest wetland is the Pantanal, which covers land in Brazil, Bolivia, and Paraguay. Huh, interesting. I think we will read just this one last page. How do wetlands fill up with water? A wetland is an area between dry land and a body of water such as a river, lake, or the ocean. It is the area where water floods the land and the soil remains waterlogged. So that means the water stays in the ground. After heavy rainfall, rainwater flows over the land and into streams, rivers, lakes, and estuaries. Some of this rainwater also soaks into the ground. An estuary is a big open part of water where a river reaches the sea. There are both saltwater and freshwater wetlands. Saltwater wetlands are found near the sea. Freshwater wetlands are found inland. Okay? So here is a diagram about how water gets into wetlands. The amount of water in a wetland depends on these factors: the time of the year when the heavy rains fall and flooding occurs, the shape of the area and the depth of the land under the water, the type of soil and how much water the soil absorbs, that means takes in, the amount of water under the ground. Okay. So I think that this video actually makes an interesting starting point for learning about wetlands. And I think it would be very interesting for some of the older kids in P4, 5 and 6 to tell me if they know anything about wetlands. Now indeed there is actually a wetland park in Hong Kong, in Tin So Wai. So if you visited that, maybe you can tell me about your visit to it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this week's book. I think it was a little bit more of a difficult one, but I hope you find it interesting. And I hope I can see you guys soon. Bye bye.